Hello, good afternoon. My name's Derraven. I'm the area manager at Ingram Coots. My co-presenter here is Philip Vaughan, who's the Assistant Director of Library at Coventry University. We're going to be talking to you about our textbook project, which we launched last year, and Phil is going to start by giving you a brief introduction.
Okay, thanks, Dawn. I'll give a little bit of context of the why and the how and the wherefore of it. Coventry University has given each undergraduate who started last autumn with us a free set of core textbooks off their reading list to keep for the duration of their time at Coventry. So that covered approximately 3,400 students on 122 courses. This was all eligible first-year full-time undergraduates receive this offer. It's part of an overall Promises programme that Coventry University has undertaken to give its new students. In terms of why we're doing this, it's partly a response to the changing funding environment that the students, or should I say more accurately, their parents, are paying increased fees. And Coventry's trying to offer value for money. Coventry has this principle of no hidden extras when our undergraduates arrive. In other words, there shouldn't be any unforeseen costs when the students arrive. Student textbooks obviously is one of those costs, hence our desire to provide them with the kind of wherewithal to study to start with. So as a means of value for money, it's also a means of a marketing ploy as well, that this is something that Coventry offers students when they start. In terms of the how, we undertook a brief tender exercise to identify an appropriate supplier. The funding is coming from individual faculties and departments, but the whole project was managed by the library project team, myself, and in partnership with Ingram Coots. Why Ingram Coots? Well, they obviously won the tender exercise, but they developed, they demonstrated to us kind of their passion and commitment. They shared our vision for what this project could deliver. They also had the infrastructure and the kind of commitment to deliver what was a very complex logistical project. And I'll hand you back to Dawn for the next one.
So this was a true collaboration project. To give you some of the high-level details, we held frequent and regular joint project meetings, ourselves and Coventry, and we discussed everything from the IT developments that were required right the way down to the bags that we were going to give to the students. We used a staging area in Milton Keynes, where we took delivery of the books from publishers and we packed them into course packs. This is the staging area at Milton Keynes, which is one of our sister companies, Lightning Source, who kindly gave us some space. We distributed 23,000, in the region of 23,000 books, to around 3,500 students, all in pre-packed course sets. And we were on site for 2 weeks at Coventry. We timetabled the first week so that the students had a dedicated day to come collect their packs. And this led to us seeing a 70% sell-through in the first week. Mainly thanks to Phil and his team, who continually, daily, prompted students to come and collect. We also used their student ID card as a way of identifying which course they were on and which books, therefore, they needed. So we were able to scan their card and choose the correct pack for each student.
In terms of the results, I'm delighted to report the programme was a big success, which is just as well, really, as we had an immovable deadline of induction week and the first week of teaching to get the books on site and to distribute them because the students needed them immediately. But I think it's been a success really due to the amount of planning that ourselves and Coots put together. It's a massive logistical exercise. We found ourselves having passionate discussions about pallets and forklift trucks, which I don't recall being on the syllabus at library school. Everyone really committed, more than 100%. Ourselves, Coots, our IT services, even our estates who helped us ferry the stock across from various locations on campus, even down to the student ambassadors and the registry staff who were on site as well to deal with any issues regarding student records. There were no queues, I believe. Oh. No, there were no queues. We even went as far as hiring an awning for outside of the distribution location, so the students didn't get wet while they were waiting for their books. Also pleased to report, we conducted a short survey as the students were picking up their packs, and 97% of them were very happy with the process, which is obviously very, very pleasing. We also surveyed all students who received books, and 94% of them have actually used them, so that makes this reassuring.
Thank you. So this year, as you can imagine, there were a lot of lessons learned last year, and this year we're planning earlier. The title lists are already underway. In fact, we've engaged academics even earlier this year to ensure that we're ready for that deadline. I know Phil has already undertaken some awareness days, and clear deadlines have been communicated. That also helps with the enrolment numbers, although, as you're aware, enrolment numbers change. We have a deadline set at which point we stop ordering. Once then all the enrolment numbers have settled and steadied, we'll then capture everything else in a mop-up session at the end of towards the end of the year. Ingram Coots this year is managing the whole of logistics for this project. So everything from room layout to staffing the queue and managing the whole project to reduce the impact this project has on the university staff. And also, finally, for this year, we're going to be looking at a digital element. This is going to be a trial on a couple of courses to be identified, and this will be supported by another of our sister companies within the Ingram Group called Vital Source. Vital Source supply digital textbooks directly to students, so we'll be working closely with them.
Okay, in summary, I think the project's been a big success. There's certain dimensions to it, really. It's been about meeting the needs of students. Coventry prides itself on the sort of quality of the student experience. We have a lot of students from overseas and a lot of students from non-traditional backgrounds who need a little bit more in terms of hand-holding and academic support. So that, I think, has contributed to that. It's been innovative. I think we're the only UK institution, higher education institution, that has attempted something on this scale. And we're very pleased that it's been a success. It's also been a kind of a great partnership with Coots, who have really gone 150% to ensure that this delivered on time. We wondered what the impact of this was going to be on the library service. Overall loans over the last term were slightly down on the period the year before, but our footfall was up by 10%. So we are still as popular as ever. Which was some concern that it might have a detrimental impact on the library service. In fact, it seems to have sort of raised awareness of us on campus, which has been very positive. Okay, the final slide is just our contact details. We're both staying around if you have any questions, and I'm on stand 52 for the duration of the conference, if anybody would like to come and have a chat. Thank you very much.